Attention bubbleheads, sailors, and all military personnel. Enjoy truish, lighthearted, and funny adventures from life at sea, told by Mr. Durite himself. So pack your sea bags and rig the ship for dive. It's time for another sea story with Mr. Durite. I think they're ready for you.
Welcome back to Sea Stories with Mr. Durite. I am your host, Mr. Durite. In today's show, there's always this one guy. That's right. And you know it. There was always that one guy who did something, said something, or was into something, and it was like, what the fuck? For real. So I got me one of those guy stories, and here it is. I was a Navy T. I'm sure you know I was a Navy T, because I'm sure I mentioned it several times. And if you don't remember, you can always go back and watch all the rest of the videos. I was a Navy T, and one of our pieces of equipment was military GPS. We also had commercial. We didn't really have to fix that. All we had to deal with really was military GPS. I mean, I'm not saying we broke it down to parade rest or nothing like that, but we had to understand it, how it worked and everything else. We were experts at military GPS. We understood how it worked. Pretty simple. So, after I got off the boat, went to Virginia, Yorktown, Weapons Station, and I worked at the torpedo shop out there, right? And before I can work in a torpedo shop, of course you gotta go through school. So I went to torpedo school so I can learn about torpedoes, so I can work on, you guessed it, torpedoes. Now we didn't have no huge, humongous class. We had a small class. I would say it was maybe 6 to 8 people in the class, not a whole lot. This particular day we were in class doing our strenuous activity of playing spades and hearts. You know, we were talking. I think I was talking about satellite radio. You go into a tunnel, you lose the signal. Under bridge, you'll lose the signal. The clouds will come out, no signal. Satellite radio is okay, but you know, it's got its limitations. With FM radio, cloud cover doesn't really stop it. I mean, clear day, man, you jamming. I'm just saying, this guy, we'll call him Sailor Dipshit, decided he was going to make a comment about what I said. And he says,
"You're probably too far away from the antenna. That's why you lost your signal."
No, that's not what happened. No. And I told him, I said, no, that's not what happened. I mean, you don't get a satellite signal from an antenna. You get a satellite signal from a satellite. And then he said,
"No, that's stupid. The satellite signal beams down to the antenna, and then from the antenna, it reaches your receiver in the car."
Mind you, I'm sitting up here like, wait a minute, that goes against every big-ass tech manual I read, because it didn't say shit like that. Why the hell would they need 26 asynchronous orbited satellites if all you're going to do is get your signal from an antenna on the ground? So I said, man, I'm finna bust this dude open right now. He talking all this shit. I'm finna shut him up. So I said, well, if we get our signal from an antenna, how the hell did we get a GPS signal in the middle of the ocean? He said straight face, no problem. This dude knew this shit like he invented it himself. He said,
"Well, there's an array of antennas set up in the ocean so ships can get GPS signal when they're out to sea."
No. Hell no. Are you kidding me? You know how far-fetched that is? You know how many antennas you would have to put in the middle of the ocean with deep-ass oceans? You know how big this antenna, what, is going to be an antenna buoy? I mean, what? I'm like, no, man, that's not it. That's not how it works. Then he looked at me.
"You on crack."
This is a totally different conversation now. Because let me tell you something. There's only certain people who make statements like that. They either don't know what crack does, doesn't know how crack affects a person, or they don't know anybody that's ever been on crack. They hear this shit on TV, they watching Fox News talking about crack. Fox News don't know what the fuck they talking about crack. So now these motherfuckers informed by some shit they don't know about because somebody told them what it is that they don't know nothing about. And now you start fucking calling people crackheads. Let me tell you something. I have a problem being called a fucking crackhead. I've seen crackheads. I know crackheads. I know what crack does to a person. And let me tell you, I wouldn't call nobody a crackhead because that shit ain't no fucking joke. It ain't a joke. You know, you want to call somebody a dope head, a weed head or something like that? Okay, you know, hey, a lot of people smoke weed. Sure, they do that stuff. You a crackhead, you on a whole other fucking level. Whole nother level. So you calling me a crackhead, you must want to fight. And I ceased to giving a fuck about GPS and my piss level, and I'm going to bring back the piss level. And it was at its highest pistivity, and we're about jumping in this motherfucker's ass. Oh, I'm a crackhead? He says,
Yeah, motherfucker, you a crackhead.
bitch, your mama's a goddamn crackhead, and she was a crackhead when she was gestating you. I just lost it. You know, I'm a nice, civil type of person. And then you open that door, and all that shit goes right out with the bathwater and the baby. Just, whoop, because I'm a crackhead. So next thing you know, I was being dragged out of the classroom. And I'm so glad they did because I was so heated that I could have set that shit on fire like fire starter. Just been looking like,
They just lit that place on fire. I was ready to tear this whole place down.
oh, I was pissed. Crackhead? You gonna call me a crackhead? Anyway, so I didn't speak to that fool for years. He would go one way and I go the other one. I ain't had nothing to do with that fool. I'm glad we didn't have to work together, you know, directly. We was in the same command, but I could be on this side of the command without even have to deal with that side of the command. This mofo, after several years, like towards the end of my enlistment, I was there for 3 years. Right towards the end, he comes up to me and says, man, you know, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? I really don't remember why we stopped talking or, you know, we weren't friends or anything like that. Man, I hope we can really put this stuff behind us. And I sat up there and I was like, you know what?
I fucking remember why the fuck we fell out. Your ass called me a motherfucking crackhead. Bitch ass motherfucker.
I ain't hold a grudge. That's all of that story. I had to tell that story because, man, I still think about that to this day. I mean, not too many people really got me pissed off in life, period. Certain times, you know, and I can remember all the real times that I got pissed off. I mean, to the max. You know, I told you about the guy I had to fight with in A school. This guy, maybe 1 or 2 other times ever. I had this one experience. I wasn't even in the Navy yet, but it's a pretty damn good story. You might want to hear that one day. But I'm fairly pretty good guy. So I don't advocate violence and stuff like that. But there's some times when you just gotta people's elbow somebody. That's my show. Thanks for checking me out. Sea Stories and Mr. Durite with your host, Mr. Durite. I'll throw it out there. Hey, like, subscribe, share my videos. Y'all been doing that. That's pretty cool. I love my audience. Man, I keep doing this for y'all, and I appreciate y'all. So until next time, peace. Welcome back to... Man, I did it. Cloud cover, come up, you know. At least FM radio, cloud cover. This guy, we are going to call him... Fuck, what did I call him? Oh, sailor dipshit, right? From an antenna on the ground. So I said, I talked about that guy that I, had to fight with in